Ultimate, 4 gigabytes of memory. The laptop that's showing on the screen is equipped with the 40 gig V-Series SSD. The laptop here on the right side is a 5400 RPM, 50 to 60 megabytes per second peak laptop hard drive. So what we've done is we've added the memory into the system and then we replaced the hard drive with an SSD. So I'll give you a startup demo, and this is, as you guys know, random transfer rate demonstration. So here we go. And also remember, because we're projecting the SSD here, it's going to take longer for this to display here, because the video driver will have to detect, oh, I'm hooked up to the projector, let me set it up. So that's why you see this first, and finally we got the both screen there.
So I have to record what's up and down, right?
Windows is starting.
No. Oh, this is SSD, and this one is.
And the performance increase,
It's ready.
or the delta, is about 15 to 16 seconds each time you reboot the machine. And remember, this is not a very expensive SSD. 80, 90
euros. This
Yeah.
this one is newcomer. It will arrive within 5 days. It's V40, the last one on the slide. So it's 170 and 40 gigabytes of reading and writing speed.
Okay, so that was random read and write speeds, more on the read side, of course, because operating systems don't write that much during the boot up. We're going to open up Picasa. It's going to be another application loading time, but this is not very impressive. For sure, you'll see that the SSD loads it faster. What's more interesting is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to give you a sequential performance demonstration. So I'm going to select all the photos, which is 183 high-resolution JPEGs, inside the software. They're stored on the second partition on the drive, and I'm going to rotate each one of those photos 90 degrees. And this is considered batch editing. So if you're doing any file editing on your systems, and there's a lot of files that you're editing, you can see the difference in performance on using an SSD. It's flying over there, and it's now already 25% on the hard drive.
It's crawling over there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, if this was the only thing that I was concerned about, my work would be done in less than a second. However,
Done?
to give you guys a bit more idea,
Not even on the. Oh.
I'm going to do a second rotation. And of course, a lot of this speed is now, it's actually faster than it was before because there's some caching involved. Operating system and Picasa has a smart way to cache the recently used files,
The
so it's
second
getting
one is
fired on
done.
the SSD. But the hard drive is affected by the same exact philosophy of the software. So we're doing the rotation twice already, and I'm going to just shoot up for a third time. So we're already having double the speed on the drive, and it's going to be very close to being 3 times faster in this operation.
On a previous section, it was 3 and something extra.
Third time.
So we tried to do it 4th time, but HD finished that.
No,
Yeah, I'll leave it here just so I don't have to wait for the rotation, but there it is, 3 times faster on the SSD.
If you weren't so slow with.
running.
My finger, I was too slow to hit the button. I would be able to record
Yeah,
that.
he's tired now. The last section, he was faster.
Okay, so that was a great example of sequential transfer rates on the V40. And remember, bear in mind, we are talking about only 40 megabytes per second write drive, 170 megabytes per second read. The hard drive itself is rated about 50 to 60, so it's not. It doesn't sound like it's a lot, right? But it looks much more impressive because it has great technological advances over hard drive. So last demo, I'm sure you guys like. I leave you with this image of Crisis in your mind. If I can find it.
Unfortunately, many of people here prefer Stalker.
Really? Sorry, I don't have Stalker demo for you guys. So, Crisis is a very large application that relies on very large maps, very large sound files. The loading times are not that impressive. Every one of us can see that the hard drive is, there it is. It's not as big difference as it was with the operating system loading, but I think you're going to be more impressed with the time that it takes to load the map inside the game. So these are all random transfer rates. The map loading is going to be sequential. maybe 10 seconds, right?
No, leave in video, leave in video.
It's like half an hour long. Sorry, guys.
It's the way it's meant to be played.
Anybody here who's younger than 17?
Please leave the room.
Close your eyes. Leave the room. All right. So I'm gonna load the save game. They're roughly in the same place. Just gonna load the exact same map area, the same graphics, the same audio files, and I'm gonna do it at exactly the same time. Forget about that part. That was not impressive. Here we go. 0, 1 is both selected, and just hit load, and here we go. And you may have, if you do a YouTube search on Crysis and SSDs, you'll see something similar. It jumps. The loading times are pretty good on the SSD. Even this is, remember, a 40 gig drive that's not been rated. It's running on a laptop that's not the best suited for SSDs, but still, nevertheless, quite impressive.
Yep.
It's done.
So if you're a gamer and you're very impatient, SSD is a good choice because you get to start playing much more faster. There it is. And then lastly, here's the screen that shows you the loading time. It's 24.24 seconds to load the map on the SSD, and it's 42.25 seconds on the hard drive. So we're seeing not twice, but almost nearly twice as fast loading time per map. So again, a nice illustration why numbers on a feature sheet don't really speak of the reality of the product. Looking at 170 and 40 on paper may not sound impressive. In fact, myself, when I heard about the specs, I thought, this is not going to work. In reality, the performance increase is staggering. We can have certain areas in the system that are greatly boosted by an SSD, and I think you should agree on, based on this demo, that that's the case.
And just